Is it inflation, or are you just hallucinating? Are you seeing the economic data in your daily life, and is it all rosy? I would say a resounding no. All the while, central banks around the world are reducing their dollar reserves and buying gold in record amounts not seen in history. Are central banks sensing weakness in the dollar and counterparty risk by holding it in reserve? If the smart money that usually run the printing presses are stocking up on gold, it makes sense that the ordinary investor prepare as well. If you think you may be falling behind in your financial goals, see the video description to access the free Inflation Retirement Calculator to make sure that you are on track. Also, please share your experience in the comments. To discuss the present economic environment and how investments in scarce and time-tested assets like gold and silver can help you secure your financial future, we will hear from economist, White House advisor, and author Jim Rickards, economist and investor Keith Weiner, macro analyst and investor Lyn Alden.
Going forward, gold is likely to see a little bit of a bid in terms of the percentage of the total world assets that are in gold. I mean, even if it just goes up from, it's a tiny base, so it can double pretty easily. Macro backdrop certainly favors scarce assets. I mean, the amount of debt in the system, the demographics of the system, and technology growth are deflationary. But the policymaker response to that, the large deficit spending financed by central bank, reserve creation, that's kind of an inflationary reaction to those deflationary forces. And so the things that normally benefit from that are scarce assets. So, in an inflationary environment, real estate does well, commodities do well, bonds and cash do poorly. But I think the first step is to make sure you have exposure to some of those scarce assets, things that have kind of intrinsic value, whether they're real estate, whether it's key commodities like copper or uranium or nickel or silver, things like that. Gold for some investors. Basically, it's a claim on something of intrinsic value.
You know that 99 point, I don't know what it is, 7 would my guess, percentage of Americans don't have any gold. And we're making a value proposition and saying, look, you should consider owning gold for reasons X, Y, and Z. If reason X is, we're going to have a Mad Max end of the world, it's not a real attractive value proposition. I'll just leave that at that. We should all be thinking about how do we avert this catastrophe rather than how to plan to, I'll put scare quotes around profit from this coming catastrophe. So I studied economics under this old Hungarian professor named Fekete. And there was somebody else studying at the same time that I was, another Hungarian, this other guy would have been 10 or 11 years old. And his family was trying to escape to Austria ahead of the Soviet tanks. They got to the border and there were guards there. And the father had a gold wristwatch. Not a paper claim to gold, not GLD ETF gold, not gold futures, not, whatever, but an actual chunk of gold. And he took the watch off and he handed it to the guards, or the captain of the guard. And the guard said, I didn't see you, you're not here, but get lost, because if you're here in 10 more minutes, my men are going to shoot you. And then he deliberately drove off in his Jeep or whatever it was, and they had 10 minutes to get to the border, which was, half a mile away. So they escaped because they had physical gold. That said, so gold may afford you a life-saving option to get out of where you need to get out of, but it may not avail you. So you're better off with gold than without. We should all be thinking about how do we avert this catastrophe rather than how to plan to, I'll put scare quotes around profit from this coming catastrophe.
Just a quick interruption to say thank you for supporting our channel. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this video content. It really does make a difference. Also, a quick mention and shout out to one of our sponsors, Noble Gold Investments. The founders of Noble Gold have more than 20 years of combined experience in the gold investing industry and have secured more than $1 billion in precious metals for their clients. The company provides 401k rollover services to tax-advantaged gold IRAs, as well as unique purchasing options for private ownership of gold for storage in the comfort of your own home. Whether you are starting a brand new gold IRA or rolling over an existing account, the company will make this process seamless and stress-free. To find out more about Noble Gold and how this trusted gold investment company can help safeguard your coveted retirement savings, see the link in the video description to visit Noble Gold's official site to receive a free gold investing guide. Also, check out our video review of Noble Gold by clicking the link in the top right. Now, back to the episode.
Financial war, which that is warfare. That is no different than dropping bombs or firing missiles at the enemy, except you're using financial weapons. And there are a lot of ways to do it. Sanctions, we kicked Iran out of the global payment system. They say we, meaning the United States. We're putting financial sanctions on Russia. Russia invades Ukraine. What we do is impose financial sanctions. That's an example of financial warfare. I do quite a bit of consulting for the U.S. government, the intelligence community, the Secretary of Defense, and others. certainly spoken to the Treasury and the Fed and other agencies at different times. And people say, well, what keeps them up at night? What is the deepest fear? And I think most listeners are very familiar with cyber warfare and cyber threats. A lot of them had to do with taking control of critical infrastructure, combine cyber and financial. Go in, shut down the New York Stock Exchange, which is easy to do, or what's called distributed denial of service attacks, where you flood JP Morgan's online banking system with so much message traffic that it can't function and people can't get to their accounts. Those things are trivial. What's a lot more threatening is not that you would shut down a system, but that you would take over a system. You would get inside the order entry system of one of the stock exchanges and start spoofing orders. Sell Google, sell Apple, sell Tesla, sell this, sell that. And the brokers and the exchanges would know what was happening. They would treat them as legitimate orders, and you have all these sell orders. So you could do something like that. It wouldn't be that difficult. The FBI and Department of Homeland Security found a Russian attack virus inside the NASDAQ operating system in 2010. Nice job. They disabled it, but who knows how many other viruses are lurking in there. So that's one more reason to have gold. It's not digital. You can't hack it. You can't erase it. Other markets can go crazy, but your gold will preserve your wealth.
Gold holds a proven, time-tested track record as an economic constant that spans millennia. Why is it important to have an economic constant? What is the main question every person planning their retirement or building a business needs to ask themselves? Are we growing wealth or losing wealth? And how do we measure this? Gold is that tool. With a 5,000-year record that has withstood every economic business cycle, stock market booms and busts, global conflicts, and outlasting every faith-based fiat currency, gold is no one's liability. It builds wealth while preserving it. Owning physical gold and precious metals requires responsible sourcing of grades, purity, condition, the best prices, transparency, and most of all, security and storage. Gold IRAs are a tax-deferred means of owning physical gold and ensuring all these investing principles are met. We have reviewed and vetted the best gold IRA companies that meet all these requirements. See the link in the video description to access the free gold investment guides. An often used criticism for holding gold is the opportunity cost of gaining yields elsewhere, such as bonds or high-quality equities. Monetary Metals is a gold investment company that unlocks the productivity of gold by offering a yield on gold paid in gold. Monetary Metals delivers interest on gold through the company's gold fixed income investments, which aim to provide a fixed return with low risk of loss. This provides investors exposure to gold's unique attributes, plus a real yield that grows your total of gold ounces held. To learn more about Monetary Metals and their innovative investment products, see the link in the video description. If you have $100K of retirement savings to protect and want to take advantage of the best gold prices, see the link in the video description to sign up for the free Gold and Silver Web Conference hosted by Augusta Precious Metals. Thank you for watching.